You are listening to stories on the Midnight Story Bureau YouTube channel. The following is the Reverend Insanity series. Chapter 1. Even if I sacrifice myself, my demonic heart will not regret it. Fang Yuan, obediently hand over the spring-autumn cicada, and I will let you die comfortably. Old demon Fang, don't even think about resisting. Today, we righteous sects have united and must destroy your demon lair. This place has already been set up with a net of traps. This time, your head will surely be separated from your body. Fang Yuan, you damned demon, you killed tens of thousands of people to cultivate the spring-autumn cicada. You have committed heinous crimes, unforgivable sins, and your sins are piled high. Demon, 300 years ago you humiliated me, stole my virginity, wiped out my entire family, and killed 9 generations of my clan. From that moment, I hated you so much I wanted to eat your flesh and drink your blood. Today, I want you to suffer a fate worse than death. Fang Yuan, wearing a tattered, emerald green robe, his hair disheveled, his entire body drenched in blood, looked around. The mountain wind blew his blood-stained robe, like a fluttering battle flag. Fresh red blood gushed from hundreds of wounds all over his body. In just a moment, a large pool of blood had formed at Fang Yuan's feet. Surrounded by enemies, there was no way out. The outcome was decided. Death was inevitable today. Fang Yuan saw the situation clearly, but even with death approaching, his expression remained unchanged, his face calm. His eyes were deep, like an ancient well, unfathomable. The righteous heroes surrounding him were either dignified sect leaders or renowned young heroes. They surrounded Fang Yuan, some shouting, some sneering, some with narrowed eyes showing a wary glint, and others clutching their wounds in fear. They didn't attack, fearing Fang Yuan's dying counterattack. This tense standoff lasted for 3 hours, the setting sun casting its last rays on the mountainside, illuminating the area like a blazing fire. Fang Yuan remained motionless, like a statue, slowly turning around. The assembled heroes immediately stirred, retreating a considerable distance. At this moment, the gray-white mountains beneath Fang Yuan's feet were stained a deep crimson with fresh blood. His face, pale and ashen from excessive blood loss, suddenly shone with a radiant glow in the setting sun. Gazing at this scene of the sun setting over the green mountains, Fang Yuan chuckled softly. Green mountains and setting sun, autumn moon and spring breeze. Indeed, in the morning, black hair turns to snow by evening, right and wrong, success and failure, all turn to dust in the blink of an eye. As he spoke these words, a scene from his previous life on Earth suddenly flashed before his eyes. He was originally a student from the Huachia * region on Earth, and by a strange twist of fate, he transmigrated to this world. He struggled for 300 years, roamed the world for 200 years, and for over 500 long years. Yet it was all in glory. Many memories buried deep in his heart, at this moment, seemed fresh, vivid, and real. In the end, I still failed. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly, feeling a little melancholic, but not regretful. He had anticipated this outcome. He had prepared himself mentally for his choice. The so-called demonic path is one of not cultivating good karma, of murder and arson. Heaven and earth do not tolerate it. Everyone in the world is an enemy, and he can run rampant. If the spring and autumn cicada I just cultivated is effective, I'll still want to be an evil demon in my next life. Thinking this, Fang Yuan couldn't help but laugh loudly. Old demon, what are you laughing at? Everyone be careful, the demon lord is about to die and is still trying to counterattack. Hand over the spring and autumn cicada immediately. The crowd pressed forward, and at that moment, with a loud bang, Fang Yuan brazenly self-destructed. The spring rain drizzled, silently refreshing Qingmao Mountain. It was late at night, and a gentle breeze blew, carrying a light drizzle. Qingmao Mountain wasn't completely dark. From the slopes to the foot of the mountain, numerous shimmering lights appeared, as if draped in a brilliant ribbon of light. These lights emanated from individual stilt houses, although not thousands of houses lit. There were still thousands of them. This was the Gu Yue mountain village located on Qingmao Mountain, adding a strong sense of community to the vast, tranquil mountain range. At the very center of Gu Yue mountain village stood a magnificent pavilion. A grand sacrificial ceremony was being held, so the torches blazed brightly, illuminating the interior with dazzling brilliance. May our ancestors bless us, and may this awakening ceremony produce more outstanding young talents, bringing hope and new blood to our clan. The middle-aged clan chief of the Gu Yue clan, with his white temples and solemn white ceremonial attire, knelt on the light brown floor, his hands clasped in a cross shape, his eyes closed in heartfelt prayer. Facing him was a tall, black-painted platform with 3 tiers, housing the ancestral tablets. On either side of the tablets were bronze incense burners, their smoke rising. Behind him, more than 10 others knelt in the same manner. They wore loose, flowing white ceremonial robes and were all elders of the clan, holding positions of authority. After a prayer, the Gu Yue clan chief led the others, turning around, spreading his hands flat on the floor, palms pressed to the ground, and bowing his head. His forehead touched the brown floor, producing a soft thudding sound. The elders behind each wore solemn expressions and silently followed suit. For a moment, a soft thud of foreheads touching the floor echoed through the ancestral hall. After the ceremony, everyone slowly rose from the floor and quietly left the solemn hall. In the corridor, the elders quietly breathed a sigh of relief. The atmosphere somewhat relaxed. Discussions gradually arose. Time really flies. A year has passed in the blink of an eye. The last awakening ceremony feels like it was just yesterday. So vivid. Tomorrow is the annual awakening ceremony. I wonder what kind of new bloodline will emerge for the family this year. Quote, I hope a young man with top-tier talent will appear. Our ancient Moon clan hasn't had such a genius in 3 years. Quote, that's right, the Bai family village and the Shung family village have both produced many geniuses in recent years. Especially Bai Ningbing of the Bai family. Her talent is truly terrifying. Without exception, when the name Bai Ningbing was mentioned, the elders' faces showed signs of worry. This person possessed exceptionally outstanding talent. In just 2 short years, he had cultivated to the 3rd stage of Ancient Master. Among the younger generation, he could be said to be the sole leader. Even the older generations felt the pressure from this newly emerged talent. Over time, he would undoubtedly become a pillar of the Bai family's stronghold. At the very least, he would be a powerful individual capable of governing a region on his own. No one doubted this point. But the young man participating in this year's awakening ceremony is not without hope. That's right, the Fang branch has produced a genius youth. He could speak in 3 months and walk in 4. At the age of 5, he could compose poetry. His intelligence was extraordinary, and his talent surpassed others. It's a pity his parents died early, and he is currently being raised by his uncle and aunt. Yes, he has early intelligence and great ambition. In recent years, he's composed Mutual Respect Wine, Plum Blossom Poem, and Jiang Chengzi. I've heard of them. He's truly a genius. Clan Chief Gu Yue was the last to leave the ancestral hall. Slowly closing the door, he overheard the elders discussing in the corridor. He knew they were talking about a young man named Gu Yue Fang Yuan. As the head of a clan, he naturally paid attention to the emergence of outstanding disciples. Gu Yue Fang Yuan was indeed the most dazzling and exceptional among the younger generation. Experience showed that those with exceptional talent from a young age, or those with strength comparable to adults, often possessed outstanding cultivation potential. If this person's aptitude is tested and he receives proper training, he might not be incapable of challenging Bai Ningbing. Even with only B-grade aptitude, he could certainly single-handedly lead a region and become a banner-bearer of the ancient Moon tribe. However, since he's so intelligent at such a young age, his B-grade aptitude is unlikely. It's highly probable he's only A-grade. As this thought arose, the ancient Moon tribe chief's lips curved slightly into a faint smile. He then cleared his throat and said to the elders, "Gentlemen, it's getting late. For the sake of a smooth ceremony tomorrow, please rest well tonight and recuperate." Upon hearing this, the elders were all taken aback. A hint of wariness flickered in their eyes as they exchanged glances. The chief's words were subtle, but everyone understood his meaning. Every year, the elders of the clan compete fiercely for these talented young talents, often to the point of bloodshed and injury. Therefore, they must rest and recuperate properly, preparing for tomorrow's competition. Especially Gu Yue Fang Yuan, who has the potential to possess top-tier talent. Furthermore, his parents have passed away, making him one of the 2 remaining orphans of the Fang clan branch. If they can recruit him into their own branch and train him well, it will ensure the branch's prosperity for 100 years. However, I must warn you beforehand, the competition must be fair and square. No underhanded tactics or schemes that harm clan unity are allowed. Elders, please remember this. The clan leader's voice was serious as he admonished. We wouldn't dare, we wouldn't dare. We will certainly remember this. We must take our leave now. Clan leader, please stop here. The elders, filled with their own thoughts, dispersed one by one. Soon, the corridor was deserted. The spring rain and wind blew through the window, and the clan chief walked lightly to the window. Immediately, the fresh, damp mountain air filled his nostrils, permeating his very being. This was the 3rd floor of the pavilion, and the clan chief's gaze swept across, revealing more than half of the ancient Moon Mountain village. At this late hour of the night, most of the villages still had their lights on, a stark contrast to usual. Tomorrow was the grand opening ceremony, a day that concerned everyone's personal interests. A mixture of excitement and tension enveloped the hearts of the clan members. And naturally, many couldn't sleep peacefully. This is the future hope of our clan. The clan chief sighed, his eyes reflecting the flickering lights. At that moment, a pair of clear eyes gazed silently at the flickering lights in the dead of night, their hearts filled with complex emotions. Ancient Moon Mountain Village. Is this 500 years ago? The spring and autumn cicada truly works. Fang Yuan's eyes were deep and profound as he stood by the window, letting the wind and rain beat against him. The effect of the spring and autumn cicada was to reverse time. Ranked 7th among the 10 great ancient treasures, it was naturally not to be underestimated. In short, it was resurrection. Using the spring and autumn cicada to be resurrected. To go back 500 years. Fang Yuan extended his hand, his gaze calmly fixed on his young, somewhat pale hand, then slowly clenched it, trying to feel this reality. The sound of the drizzle against the window was in his ears. He slowly closed his eyes, and after a long while, opened them again, sighing. Experiencing 500 years feels like a dream. But he knew clearly that this was not a dream. Chapter 2, 500 Years of Time Travel for Enlightenment. Legend says that a river of time exists in this world, flowing and supporting it, and using the power of the spring and autumn cicada, one can reverse the flow, returning to a past time. This rumor has caused much discussion among the people. Many don't believe it, some are half believing, half doubting. It seems no one truly believes it, because each use of the spring and autumn cicada requires sacrificing one's life, one's entire body and all cultivation to generate its power. This price is too high, and what makes it even more unacceptable is that the outcome of sacrificing one's life is unknown. Even those who obtain the spring and autumn cicada dare not use it recklessly. What if the rumor is false? Just a conspiracy? If Fang Yuan hadn't been desperate, he wouldn't have used it like this. However, now, Fang Yuan completely believes it. Because the undeniable truth is unfolding before his eyes. There's no way to refute it. He was truly resurrected. But it's a pity about this excellent Gu. It took 9 oxen and 2 tigers, killing over 100,000 people, causing widespread resentment, and enduring countless hardships to refine it. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly. Although he was resurrected, he didn't bring the spring-autumn cicada with him. Humans are the soul of all things, and Gu are the essence of heaven and earth. Gu are incredibly strange and countless. Some Gu are used once or twice before completely dissipating, but some, as long as they aren't overused, can be used repeatedly. Perhaps the spring-autumn cicada is one of those consumable goo worms that can only be used once. However, even without it, I can still refine another one. If I could refine them in my previous life, why can't I in this life? After lamenting, a surge of heroic ambition rose in Fang Yuan's heart. Since he could be resurrected, the loss of the spring-autumn cicada was completely acceptable. Moreover, he possesses treasures. He's not empty-handed. These treasures are his 200 years of memories and experience. His memories contain countless treasures, yet to be unlocked. There are also numerous major events that allow him to easily grasp the flow of history. And there are countless individuals, some reclusive masters, some extraordinary talents, and some who haven't even been born yet. Furthermore, he has accumulated arduous cultivation and rich combat experience over the past 500 years. With all of this, he undoubtedly holds the upper hand and the advantage. If he performs well, conquering the world, recreating the glory of a mighty hero, will be absolutely no problem. He might even take another step and reach a higher realm. So, what should I do? Fang Yuan, incredibly intelligent, quickly composed himself, gazing at the night rain outside the window and beginning to ponder. Thinking about it, he felt overwhelmed by 100 conflicting thoughts. After a moment of contemplation, his brows furrowed even deeper. 500 years was indeed a long time, not to mention his hazy memory. He couldn't recall everything, even though he remembered many secret treasure locations and opportunities. Most were either thousands of miles away or required a period of time to access. The most crucial thing is cultivation. My origin sea hasn't opened yet. I haven't even embarked on the path of a goo master. I'm just a mortal. I must cultivate quickly, increase my cultivation, stay ahead of history, and seize the opportunity to get ahead. Moreover, many secret treasures are too difficult to obtain if one's cultivation is insufficient. Even if one obtains them, they won't be able to digest them. It's like a hot potato, possessing a treasure that brings trouble. The first problem facing Fang Yuan was cultivation. I must quickly improve my cultivation. If I'm as slow as I was in my previous life, as they say, the Huang Hua dish will be cold by then. Asterisk, the general meaning is that it's too late. Huang Hua is a dish served at the end of a meal. If it's cold, it means it's too late. To quickly improve my cultivation, I must borrow the family's resources. Given my current situation, I'm incapable of traveling through the perilous mountains and forests. Even an ordinary wild boar could take my life. If I can reach the third stage of ancient master cultivation, then I'll have basic self-protection and be able to navigate the mountains and rivers here in this world. From the perspective of a demonic master honed over 500 years, Qingmao Mountain is truly small, and Gu Yue Mountain Village is more like a prison. But a prison confines freedom, and sturdy cells often represent a certain level of security. HMPH. For now, I'll just practice my martial arts in this prison. As long as I advance to the third stage of Goo Master, I can leave this desolate mountain forest. But luckily, tomorrow is the awakening ceremony, and then I can officially begin cultivating as a Goo Master. Thinking of the awakening ceremony, long-buried memories in Fang Yuan's heart began to surface. Talent. Looking out the window, he couldn't help but chuckle 3 times. Just then, the door was gently pushed open, and a young man entered. "Brother, why are you standing by the window in the rain?" This young man was thin, slightly shorter than Fang Yuan, and his face was extremely similar to Fang Yuan's. Fang Yuan turned his head to look at the young man, a complex expression on his face. "Is that you, my twin brother?" He slightly raised his eyebrows, his expression returning to its previous coldness. Fang Zheng lowered his head, looking at his toes. This was his signature gesture, seeing that brother's window wasn't closed. "I wanted to quietly go in and close it. Tomorrow is the awakening ceremony, and you're still awake so late. If uncle and aunt find out, they'll probably worry." He wasn't surprised by Fang Yuan's coldness. It was because his brother had always been like this since childhood. Sometimes he thought, perhaps geniuses are just different from ordinary people. Although he looked extremely similar to his brother, He was as ordinary as an ant. Born from the same mother's womb. Why was heaven so unfair? It bestowed diamond-like talent upon his brother, while he was as ordinary as a stone. Everyone around him, when mentioning him, would say, "This is Fang Yuan's younger brother." His uncle and aunt often taught him to learn from his brother. Even sometimes, when he looked in the mirror, he felt a little disgusted with his own face. These thoughts had been there for many years, accumulating deep within his heart, like a heavy stone weighing on his chest. Fang Yuan's head had been bowed lower and lower for years, and he had become increasingly silent and withdrawn. Worry, thinking of his aunt and uncle, Fang Yuan secretly scoffed. He remembered very clearly that his parents had both died because of a family mission. At the age of 3, he and his younger brother became orphans. His aunt and uncle, under the pretext of raising them, openly seized their parents' inheritance and treated him and his brother harshly. As a transmigrator, he had intended to hide his talents, but the hardships of life forced Fang Yuan to choose to display his extraordinary talent. The so-called genius was merely a mature soul, whose name, along with Tang dynasty poetry and Song dynasty prose, had become legendary on Earth. Even a small display of talent was enough to inspire awe. Hailed as a prodigy, and attract widespread attention, under external pressure, the young Fang Yuan was forced to adopt a cold demeanor, disguising himself to protect himself and reduce the chances of being exposed. Over time, this coldness became a habitual expression. In this way, his aunt and uncle were no longer harsh with him and his younger brother. As they grew older, their future prospects became more important, and their treatment increased accordingly. However, this wasn't love, but rather an investment. Ironically, this younger brother didn't see the truth, not only being deceived by his aunt and uncle but also harboring resentment towards him. Don't be fooled by his seemingly honest and obedient appearance now. After his A-grade aptitude was tested and he received powerful training from his family, the hidden hatred and jealousy within him erupted, and he repeatedly harassed and oppressed his own older brother. As for his own aptitude, the highest level is only AC rank. Fate always likes to play tricks. A pair of twins, the elder brother's aptitude is only C rank, yet he has enjoyed the title of genius for over a decade. The younger brother is unknown, but he possesses A-rank talent. Understanding the outcome opened the eyes of the clan members. It also completely reversed the treatment of the two brothers. The younger brother rose like a sleeping dragon, while the elder brother fell like a little phoenix. After that, there were many difficulties from the younger brother, the coldness of his aunt and uncle, and the contempt of the clan members. Hatred. In his previous life, Fang Yuan had hated his own insufficient aptitude, hated his family's heartlessness, hated his unfair fate. But now, with his 500 years of life experience, looking back on this past journey, his heart is calm, fearless, and without a trace of hatred. What is there to resent? Changing his perspective slightly, he could understand why his younger brother, his aunt and uncle, and the powerful righteous enemies would besiege him 500 years later. The strong prevail over the weak. Those who adapt survive. That's the nature of this world. Moreover, people with their own ambitions, vying for a path to heavenly secrets, would suppress and kill each other. What's so difficult to understand? 500 years had long since made him see through all of this. His heart was solely focused on the great Tao of immortality. If anyone dared to hinder his pursuit, no matter who they were, it would simply be a matter of life and death. His ambition was too great. Embarking on this path meant predetermined enemies everywhere. Predetermined to be solitary, predetermined to face endless slaughter. This was the enlightenment condensed from 500 years of life. Revenge is not my intention, and the path of evil has never had the word compromise. Thinking this, Fang Yuan couldn't help but laugh. Turning around, he glanced indifferently at his younger brother and said, "You may leave." Fang Zheng felt terrified, his brother's gaze like a cold, sharp blade, piercing to the deepest part of his heart. Under that gaze, he felt like a naked man in the freezing snow, with no secrets to speak of. See you tomorrow, brother." Without daring to say more, Fang Zheng slowly closed the door and respectfully left. Chapter 3. Please sit aside and play with eggs. Clack, 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 struck rhythmically. As he patrolled the stilt house, Fang Yuan opened his dry eyelids, thinking to himself, "It's the 5th watch of the morning." Last night, he had spent a long time in bed contemplating and planning, only sleeping for a little over an hour. This body hadn't yet begun cultivation, and his energy wasn't at its peak, so waves of fatigue still enveloped his body and mind. However, after more than 500 years, Fang Yuan had long since developed a profound and unwavering will like steel. That little bit of sleepiness was nothing to him. He immediately pushed aside the thin blankets and neatly stood up. Pushing open the window, the spring rain had stopped. A mixture of damp, fresh scents from the mud, trees, and wildflowers instantly wafted into his face. Fang Yuan suddenly felt his mind clear, and all his sleepiness vanished. The sun hadn't risen yet, the sky a heavy blue, both gloomy and bright at the same time. Looking around, the stilt house, built of green bamboo and trees, blended seamlessly with the mountain range, a tranquil expanse of verdant green. The stilt house had at least 2 floors, a unique structure of mountain dwellers. Due to the rugged and uneven terrain, the first floor was made of large wooden posts, while the second floor was where the people lived. Fang Yuan and his younger brother, Fang Zheng, resided on the second floor. "Young Master Fang Yuan, you're awake. I'll go upstairs now to help you wash your face." Just then, a young woman's voice came from downstairs. Fang Yuan looked down and saw Shen Kui, his personal maid. Her appearance was only slightly above average, but she was elegantly dressed in a green outfit, a long-sleeved top and long trousers, embroidered shoes, and a pearl hairpin in her black hair. She exuded youthful vitality. She glanced at Fang Yuan with delight, carrying a basin of water, and hurried upstairs. The water was warm enough for washing her face. For rinsing her mouth, she used willow branches dipped in snow salt, which could whiten teeth. Shen Kui served him gently, a smile on her face, her expression full of springtime charm. Afterwards, she helped Fang Yuan get dressed, often rubbing her ample breasts against his arm or back. Fang Yuan's face remained expressionless, his heart as calm as still water. This maid was not only a secret informant of his aunt and uncle, but also vain and cold-hearted. In his previous life, this was concealed, but after the awakening ceremony, when his status plummeted, she immediately turned against him, treating him with considerable contempt. When Fang Zheng arrived, he saw Shen Kui smoothing the creases on Fang Yuan's chest, and a mixture of admiration and envy flickered in his eyes. For years, living with his elder brother and receiving Fang Yuan's care, he had also had servants to attend to him. However, they weren't like Shen Kui, a young maidservant, but rather a plump old woman. If one day, Shen Kui could serve me like that, what would it be like? Fang Zheng thought to himself. Yet he didn't dare imagine it. His aunt and uncle favored Fang Yuan. This was common knowledge in the mansion. He himself didn't have any servants. It was Fang Yuan who had proactively requested one for him. Although their master-servant relationship was different, Fang Zheng didn't dare look down on Shen Kui. The reason was Shen Kui's mother, Shen Mama, who served his aunt and was also the housekeeper of the entire mansion. Enjoying great trust from his aunt and wielding considerable power. All right, no need to do it anymore. Fang Yuan impatiently brushed away Shen Kui's small, soft hand. His clothes were already neatly pressed. Shen Kui was mostly trying to seduce him. For her own bright future and high potential as a top-tier talent meant that if she could become Fang Yuan's concubine, she could transform from a servant into a master, a single step to heaven. In his previous life, Fang Yuan had been deceived and even taken a liking to this maid. After his reincarnation, he had seen through it all, his heart as cold as frost. "You may leave." Fang Yuan didn't even look at Shen Kui, adjusting his sleeves. Shen Kui pouted slightly. feeling somewhat confused and resentful that Fang Yuan was so unromantic today. She wanted to say something coquettish, but was intimidated by Fang Yuan's enigmatic aura. After several attempts, she finally said, yes, and obediently withdrew. Are you ready? Fang Yuan looked towards Fang Zheng. His younger brother stood bewildered at the door, lowering his head to look at his toes, and softly murmured a, yes. He had actually woken up at 4 in the morning, too worried to sleep, and had secretly gotten out of bed early to prepare, his eyes dark with exhaustion. Fang Yuan nodded. He hadn't understood his brother's thoughts in his previous life, but how could he not understand them in this life? But exposing them now would be pointless. He calmly instructed, then let's go. So the two brothers left the dwelling, and along the way, they encountered many peers, in groups of 5 or 3, clearly heading to the same destination. Look, those are the two Fang brothers. Whispered murmurs reached their ears. The one walking ahead is Fang Yuan, the Fang Yuan who wrote the poem, someone emphasized. So it's him, huh? Cold-faced, arrogant, and disdainful, just like the rumors say. Someone's voice was sharp, tinged with envy and longing. HMPH, if you could be like him, you could do the same, another person retorted coldly, concealing a deep dissatisfaction. Fang Zheng listened with an unchanging expression. He was already accustomed to such gossip. He lowered his head and followed his older brother silently. The morning sun was rising, casting Fang Yuan's shadow on his face. The sunlight gradually increased, but Fang Zheng suddenly felt as if he were walking straight into darkness. This darkness emanated from his brother. He feared that for the rest of his life, he could never escape his brother's immense shadow. He felt a heavy weight in his chest. Even his breathing became difficult, a damned feeling that even reminded him of the phrase, suffocation. HMPH, such gossip. It's clearly instigated by Mu Xiu and Lin Fengbi. Hearing the discussions around him, Fang Yuan inwardly sneered. No wonder after discovering his B-grade aptitude, he was surrounded by enemies, enduring harsh treatment, contempt, and coldness for a long time. He could hear the increasingly heavy breathing of his younger brother, Fang Zheng, behind him. He hadn't realized it in his previous life, but in this life, he saw everything clearly. This was the sensitivity brought about by 500 years of life experience. He suddenly thought of his aunt and uncle. They truly had some tricks up their sleeves. They had Shen Kui by his side to keep an eye on him, while his younger brother was an old woman. In fact, there were other details of their differing treatment in their daily lives. All of this was intentional, intended to stir up anger in his younger brother's heart and sow discord between them. People don't fear narrow-mindedness, only injustice. In his previous life, he had too little experience, and his younger brother was too foolish and naive, allowing his aunt and uncle to successfully sow discord between them. Now, reborn, the awakening ceremony was upon him, and the situation had become ingrained and difficult to change. However, with the cunning and intelligence of a demonic powerhouse like Fang Yuan, it wasn't impossible to alter things. He could completely subdue and control his younger brother, and then a little girl like Shen Kui would be even easier to capture. And then there were his aunt and uncle, the clan elders. He had hundreds of ways to deal with them. But, I don't want to do that, Fang Yuan murmured to himself. Even if it was his own flesh and blood brother, what difference did it make? There was no significant familial affection. He was just an outsider, easily discarded. Even if Shen Kui was beautiful, what difference did it make? Without love and loyalty, she was merely a body. After capturing her, would he rape her? She doesn't even deserve it. No matter how important they are, uncles, aunts, clan elders, etc., they're just passers-by in my life. Why waste my energy and effort bothering these strangers? Ha. As long as they don't hinder my progress, I'll play by myself. I won't even bother stepping on them. Chapter 4. Ancient Moon Origin. The sun had risen, casting a brilliant glow. The mountain mist wasn't too thick, easily pierced by the sunlight like a sharp sword. Over 115-year-old boys were gathered before the family head's pavilion. The pavilion was located in the center of the mountain stronghold, 5 stories high, with a soaring curved roof, and heavily armed guards. In front of the pavilion was a spacious courtyard, inside which were the ancestral tablets of the Gu Yue clan. Each generation of clan leaders lived there daily, and whenever there was a major ceremony or a sudden significant event, they would convene the elders here for discussion and deliberation. This was the center of power for the entire mountain stronghold. Good, you've all arrived on time. Today is the awakening ceremony, a momentous turning point in your lives. No need for further talk. Follow me. The elder in charge of this mission, with his white hair and beard, led the boys into the family head's pavilion with a vigorous spirit. Instead of going upstairs, they passed through a door in the main hall and descended. Following the stone steps, they entered an underground cave. The teenagers all exclaimed in surprise. The cave was magnificent, with stalactites emitting a dazzling array of 7 colors: red, green, blue, and violet, shining on their faces like a brilliant rainbow. Fang Yuan mingled among the crowd, silently observing everything, thinking to himself, hundreds of years ago, the ancient Moon tribe migrated from Central Plains to southern border and set up camp on Qingmao Mountain. It was precisely because they coveted the spiritual spring in this cave. This spiritual spring produces a large amount of primal stones, arguably the foundation of the ancient Moon Mountain stronghold. After walking several hundred steps, it grew darker and darker, and they could vaguely hear the sound of flowing water. Turning a corner, an underground stream more than 3 zhang wide appeared before them. Here, the light from the stalactites had completely disappeared. But in the darkness, the river water emitted a faint, ethereal blue light, resembling the Milky Way in the night sky. The river water flowed downstream from the depths of the cave, incredibly clear, so transparent that one could even see the fish, algae, and sand at the bottom. On the opposite bank was a sea of flowers. These were moon orchids cultivated by the ancient Moon tribe. Their petals resembled crescent moons, displaying an elegant, pale blue hue. The stems were like jade, the stamens sparkling, like jewels refracting a gentle light. At first glance, in the darkness, the sea of flowers on the riverbank looked like a vast green carpet, dotted with countless jewels. Moon orchids are the raw material for refining many Gu insects. This sea of flowers can be said to be the largest cultivation environment in the clan. Fang Yuan knew this well. It's so beautiful. Truly beautiful. The teenagers' eyes widened in surprise, each one shining with excitement and nervousness. All right, listen carefully as I call your names. Those called will cross this river to the other side. Go as far as you can, of course. The farther the better. Did you all understand? The elder said. Understood. The teenagers replied eagerly. In fact, before coming here, they had already heard from their families or elders that going further meant better talent and greater future achievements. Gu Yue Chen Bo, the elder pointed to the first name on the list. The river, though wide, wasn't deep, only reaching the teenagers' knees. Chen Bo, with a serious expression, stepped onto the sea of flowers on the riverbank. Immediately, he felt an invisible pressure, as if an invisible wall was blocking his way. Just as he was struggling to move, a cluster of light suddenly appeared in the sea of flowers. This light was faint and pure white. The light converged on Chen Bo, entering his body. In an instant, Chen Bo felt the pressure suddenly lessen. The invisible wall blocking his path suddenly softened. He gritted his teeth and struggled forward, trying to push his way through. After 3 steps, the pressure increased again, just like the previous wall, preventing him from advancing any further. Seeing this, the elder sighed, and on the spot, while recording, said, Gu Yue Chen Bo. 3 steps, lacks the aptitude for Gu Master. Next, Gu Yue Zhao Si. Chen Bo's face immediately turned pale. He gritted his teeth, crossed the river, and returned to his original position. Without aptitude, he could only live as an ordinary person, and within the family, he would only be able to hold the lowest position. His body swayed precariously. The blow was too great, like crushing his lifelong hope. Many looked at him with pity. but even more focused on the second young man who had climbed to the other side of the river. Unfortunately, this young man could only take 4 steps, lacking the aptitude. Not everyone possesses the aptitude for cultivation. Generally, 5 out of 10 people being able to cultivate is already considered good. In the Gu Yue clan, this ratio is slightly higher, reaching 6 people. This is because the Gu Yue ancestor, the first clan leader, was a legendary and renowned powerful figure, whose cultivation led to the inheritance of power in his bloodline. Because of his bloodline, the Gu Yue clan members generally have quite high aptitude. The situation of 2 consecutive individuals lacking aptitude caused the other clan elders, who were secretly observing, to frown slightly. Even the seasoned Gu Yue clan leader frowned slightly. At this moment, the academy elder called out the name of the third person, Gu Yue Mobei. Here, a horse-faced teenager, dressed in coarse cloth, shouted softly, pushing through the crowd. His physique was tall and robust, far stronger than his peers, exuding a sense of bravery. He crossed the river in 2 or 3 steps, reaching the other bank. 10 steps, 20 steps, 30 steps, a continuous stream of faint light entered his body. After 36 steps, he could no longer go any further. The teenagers on the other side of the river watched in astonishment. Their mouths agape. The academy elder, overjoyed, exclaimed, "Good, Gu Yue Mobei, grade B talent. Come here, let me examine your primordial C." Gu Yue Mobei returned to the academy elder's side. The elder placed his hand on the teenager's shoulder, closed his eyes, and concentrated on examining him. Then he withdrew his hand, nodded, and wrote on a piece of paper, Gu Yue Mobei. Primordial C 66%. Entering the Grade B Special Training Group. This aptitude is divided into 4 levels, A, B, C and D. A young person with Ding aptitude, after 3 years of training, can be promoted to a first-rank Gu Master, becoming the foundation of the family. A young person with C after 2 years of training, can mostly become a second-rank Gu Master, a core member of the family. A person with B aptitude needs protection, usually, to be trained to become a future elder. It takes 6 or 7 years to become a third-rank Gu Master. Even if only one person with aptitude appears, it's a blessing for the entire family. With careful nurturing and resources, they can become a 4th-rank Gu Master in about 10 years. At which point they can compete for the position of clan leader. In other words, as long as Gu Yue Mobei grows up, he will definitely be an elder of the Gu Yue clan in the future. It's no wonder the school elders burst into laughter, and the elders who were secretly watching also breathed a sigh of relief. Then all cast envious glances towards one of the elders. This elder also had a horse-like face. He was Gu Yue Mo Chen, the grandfather of Gu Yue Mobei. A smile was already brimming on his face as he provocatively looked at the old man opposite him. How about that? My grandson isn't bad either. Gu Yue Chi Lian. The red-haired elder Gu Yue Chi Lian snorted coldly, not replying, his expression grim and unpleasant. After half an hour, half of the young men had set foot on the Sea of Flowers. Many with C-grade and D-grade aptitudes, though of course, almost half were of exceptional talent. Alas, the bloodline is becoming increasingly diluted. Moreover, in recent years, the clan hasn't produced any 4th-rank powerhouses to strengthen the bloodline. The 4th-generation clan leader was the only 5th-rank powerhouse, yet he perished alongside the flower wine practitioner, leaving no descendants. The talent of the younger generation of the Gu Yue clan is getting weaker and weaker. The clan leader sighed deeply. Just then, the elder of the academy called out, Gu Yue Chi Cheng. Hearing this name, the elders all looked towards Gu Yue Chi Lian, the grandson of Gu Yue Chi Lian. Gu Yue Chi Cheng was short, pockmarked, his fists clenched, sweat dripping from his face, appearing extremely tense. He walked to the other side, the light entering his body, taking 36 steps before stopping. Another B rank, the elder of the academy exclaimed. The young men murmured, all casting envious glances at Gu Yue Chi Cheng. Ha ha ha, 36 steps, 36 steps, Gu Yue Qi Lian shouted, glaring menacingly at Gu Yue Mo Chen. This time, it was Gu Yue Mo Chen's turn to turn pale. Gu Yue Qi Cheng, among the crowd, Fang Yuan pondered, stroking his chin. In his memory, he had been severely punished by his clan for cheating in the Awakening Grand Ceremony. In reality, his aptitude was only C grade, but his grandfather, Gu Yue Qi Lian, had impersonated him, thus giving him the false appearance of B grade aptitude. In fact, Fang Yuan had calculated 10 different plans for deception, some of which were even more perfect than Gu Yue Qi Cheng's. If he displayed B grade or A grade aptitude, he would certainly be nurtured by the clan. However, firstly, Fang Yuan's time since his reincarnation was too short, given his current state. It would be difficult for him to prepare a deceptive scheme. Secondly, even if the deception is successful, the speed of his cultivation will eventually become unconcealable, leading to the exposure of his true nature. However, Gu Yue Qi Cheng is different. His grandfather is Gu Yue Qi Lian, one of the two most powerful elders in the family, capable of protecting him. Gu Yue Qi Lian has always been at odds with Gu Yue Mo Chen. These two elders are the two most powerful factions in the family. To suppress his rival, he needs a grandson with outstanding talent. It is precisely because of his backing that Gu Yue Qi Cheng was able to conceal himself for a while. In my memory, unless there was an unexpected incident, he wouldn't have been exposed. Fang Yuan's eyes flashed with a glint of cunning as he considered how to exploit this point to gain the greatest advantage. Exposing him on the spot, while potentially earning some rewards from the family, would offend the powerful Gu Yue Qi Lian, making it absolutely unthinkable. In the short term, blackmail and extortion were out of the question. Their strength was too weak. It would only bring trouble upon themselves. While deep in thought, he suddenly heard the academy elder call his name, Gu Yue Fang Yuan. Chapter 5: The Three Ancient Ancestors of Humanity. Hope awakens. Suddenly, the surroundings fell silent, countless gazes fixed upon him. It's truly becoming more and more remarkable. Fang Yuan chuckled inwardly. Before so many people, he crossed the river and stepped onto the other bank. Immediately, he felt a layer of pressure. This pressure came from the spiritual spring deep within the sea of flowers. The spiritual spring produced vital energy, and because the vital energy was so concentrated and abundant, it created pressure. However, very quickly, a cluster of bright points of light rose from the flower bushes at Fang Yuan's feet. The points of light floated, enveloping Fang Yuan's entire body, and finally all entered his body. "These are Hope Gu," Fang Yuan murmured, although the person in charge didn't explicitly say it. He knew very well. Each of these points of light was a Gu. The Gu was called Hope. There was a very ancient legend about the Hope Gu. Legend has it that when this world was first formed, it was a wild and untamed place, overrun by beasts. The first humans appeared, named Human Ancestor. He lived a life of extreme hardship, eating and drinking raw food. Especially, there was a type of beast called the Desolate Beast, which greatly desired Human Ancestor's scent and wanted to devour him. Human Ancestor lacked the rock-hard body and sharp fangs of these beasts. How could he possibly compete with the Desolate Beasts? His food source was very unstable, and he constantly fled, almost dying when natural food sources were scarce. At this time, 3 ancient beasts came to his door, saying, "If you use your life to nourish us, we will help you overcome your difficulties." Human Ancestor, cornered, had no choice but to agree to their request. He first used his youth to nurture the largest of the 3 Gu, which bestowed upon him strength. With this strength, the Human Ancestor's life began to improve. He gained a stable food source and the power to protect himself. He enjoyed brutal battles, defeating many beasts of misfortune, but he quickly tasted defeat. Eventually, he realized that strength wasn't omnipotent. It needed restoration and cultivation, and couldn't be squandered. Moreover, with hordes of beasts of misfortune lurking everywhere, his individual strength was truly insignificant. Learning from this painful experience, The human ancestor decided to use the youthful vigor of his middle age to nurture the most beautiful of the three gu. Thus, the second gu bestowed upon him wisdom. The ancestor possessed wisdom. After learning, he questioned and self-reflected, thus beginning to accumulate experience. He discovered that applying wisdom was more effective than applying brute force. Relying on his intelligence and strength, he conquered many previously unconquerable goals, killing even more calamities. He also devoured calamities and drank their blood to survive tenaciously. But his good times were short-lived. The ancestor grew old, increasingly so. This was because he had dedicated his youth and middle age to ancient power and ancient wisdom. Once a person ages, their body withers, and their thinking slows. Human, what more can you offer us? You have nothing to offer us. After discovering this, ancient power and ancient wisdom heartlessly departed. The ancestor lost his power and wisdom, was discovered by calamities, and was surrounded by a pack of beasts. He was old, too weak to run anymore. His teeth had all fallen out, and he couldn't even chew wild fruits and vegetables. He collapsed helplessly to the ground, surrounded by countless obstacles, his heart filled with despair. At that moment, the third ancient creature said to him, "Human, offer me your services, and I can help you escape this predicament." The ancestor wept, saying, "Ancient creature, what do I have left? Look, the ancient power and ancient wisdom have abandoned me. All I have left is old age. Compared to middle age, old age is insignificant, but if I offer you my old age as well, my life will end immediately. Although I am surrounded by this predicament now, I won't die anytime soon. I want to live a little longer, even if it's just a second. So go away, I can no longer offer you my services." The Ancient One said, "Among the three Ancient Ones, my demands are the least. Human, you only need to give me your heart. Then I will give you my heart immediately," said the human ancestor. "But Ancient One, what can you give me? In this desperate situation, even if the ancient power and ancient wisdom were to return to my side, it wouldn't change anything. Compared to the ancient power, this Ancient One was very weak, just a tiny speck of light. Compared to the ancient wisdom, this Ancient One was very dim, only able to emit a faint white light, lacking any brilliance. But after the human ancestor gave his heart to this Ancient One, it suddenly emitted an endless light. In this light, the desolate realm cried out in terror, 'This is the ancient hope. Run away, we desolate realm fear hope the most.' The desolate realm beasts immediately panicked and turned back. The ancestor's eyes widened in astonishment. From that moment on, he knew that when faced with adversity, he should give his heart to hope. At this moment, the Hope Gu formed a stream of light and entered Fang Yuan's body. Due to the external pressure, they quickly gathered in Fang Yuan's abdomen, 3 inches below his navel, automatically forming clusters. Fang Yuan immediately felt the pressure lessen. He took a step forward, continuing his journey. With each step, Hope Gu continuously flew out from the sea of flowers, entering his body and the stream of light. The stream of light grew larger and brighter. However, the person in charge on the riverbank frowned. The number of Hope Gu seems a bit low. Many elders who had been secretly observing Fang Yuan felt their hearts sink upon seeing this. The clan chief also frowned. This was not a phenomenon expected of a Class A talent. Fang Yuan resisted the pressure and continued forward. Below 10 steps, there's no aptitude for cultivation. 10 to 20 steps, it's D-grade aptitude. 20 to 30 steps, it's C-grade aptitude. 30 to 40 steps, it's B-grade aptitude. 40 to 50 steps, it's A-grade aptitude. Up until now, I've taken 23 steps. 24, 25, 26, 27. Fang Yuan silently counted in his heart. When he reached 27 steps, he heard a loud bang, and the light between his 2 kidneys, accumulated to its limit, suddenly exploded. This explosion occurred only within Fang Yuan's body. Outsiders couldn't detect it at all. Only Fang Yuan felt a momentary, earth-shattering sensation. In an instant, the hairs on his entire body stood on end. His paws tightened, and his mind was suddenly stretched taut like a bowstring. Suddenly, his thoughts vanished, and his entire body went limp, as if falling into a cloud. The tension in his heart eased. His hair fell back, and all the pores on his body opened. In an instant, a thin layer of sweat covered his entire body. This process, though seemingly long, was actually incredibly short. It came quickly and went just as abruptly. Fang Yuan was momentarily stunned, but his senses returned. He secretly focused his search within his body and discovered a void suddenly appearing between his two kidneys. Below his navel, a successful opening of the aperture. This was the hope for immortality. Chapter 6. The road ahead will be very interesting. The void aperture is an extraordinary and mysterious entity. Although it resides within Fang Yuan's body, it doesn't share the same space as his internal organs. You could say it's incredibly large, or incredibly small. Some call it the Purple Mansion, others the Flower Pool. However, most people call it the Origin C void aperture. The entire void aperture is spherical, its surface shimmering with white light, a layer of light membrane. This is the condensed form of the hope goo that exploded earlier. It is precisely this light membrane that prevents the void aperture from collapsing. Within the void aperture, of course, is the Origin Sea. The seawater is calm and clear as a mirror, displaying a vast expanse of emerald green, yet incredibly dense, carrying a bronze sheen. This is the Bronze Sea, a manifestation only a first-stage ancient master of the bronze true Yuan Gu possesses. The sea surface is less than half the height of the void aperture. Only 4.4%. This is also the limit of AC grade aptitude. Every drop of seawater is pure essence, representing the condensed essence, spirit, and energy of Fang Yuan, symbolizing the life potential he has accumulated over the past 15 years. Gu masters use this pure essence to activate the Gu worms, in other words. From now on, Fang Yuan officially enters the ranks of first-rank Gu masters. His apertures are open, and no more hope Gu will gather and enter Fang Yuan's body. Fang Yuan suppressed his emotions, feeling the pressure ahead as solid and thick as a wall, unable to take another step. Quote, "Just like in my previous life." He chuckled faintly at this outcome. "Can't go any further," the academy elder, clinging to a glimmer of hope, called out from the riverbank. Fang Yuan turned and walked straight back, answering him with his actions. This time, even the young men reacted. Immediately, upon hearing his voice, the crowd erupted. What? Fang Yuan took 27 steps. So he only has a C-grade aptitude. Unbelievable, he's such a genius, yet only a C-grade. A storm of emotions arose among the crowd. Brother, in the crowd, Gu Yue Fang Zheng looked up, staring in shock at Fang Yuan returning from the river. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. His brother was only a C-grade. He had always thought his brother would be an A-grade aptitude. No, not just him, his aunt and uncle, and many others in the clan thought so too. But now, this was the result. Damn it, only a C-grade. Clan Chief Gu Yue clenched his fists, sighing deeply, his words filled with disappointment. The elders watched in silence, some frowning, some bowing their heads in discussion, some looking up at the sky and sighing. Could the test be flawed? How could it be? This method is extremely accurate, and with us watching, it's very difficult to cheat. But how do we explain his previous performance and skills? A young man with a higher primordial C aptitude will indeed exhibit characteristics far superior to ordinary people. For example, intelligence, comprehension, memory, strength, and quick wit. However, conversely, having these characteristics doesn't necessarily mean high aptitude. Everything depends on the accuracy of the test results. Alas, the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. The ancient Moon Clan's later generations are not as good as their predecessors. The river water was icy cold, soaking their socks, a chilling sensation penetrating to the bone. Fang Yuan's expression remained unchanged as he moved forward. The distance between him grew shorter and shorter. He could clearly see the heavy expression on the headmaster's face and sense the gazes of over 100 young men directed at him. Their eyes held surprise, shock, mockery, schadenfreude, realization, and coldness. The scene was identical, reminding Fang Yuan of his past life. Back then, he felt the sky falling, slipping and tumbling across the river. Drenched and utterly devastated, no one came to help him up. Those cold, disappointed faces and gazes were like sharp knives slowly torturing his heart. His thoughts were in utter turmoil, and his chest ached vaguely. It was like falling from the clouds to the ground. The higher you stand, the harder you fall. But in this life, experiencing such a scene again, Fang Yuan felt remarkably calm. He recalled that story, when adversity strikes, entrust your heart to hope. Today, this hope is within me. Although this hope isn't great, it's much better than someone without the aptitude for cultivation. Others may be disappointed because of this. So be it. What can I do? What does other people's disappointment have to do with me? What matters is the desire in my heart. 500 years of life have taught him one principle. The wonder of a person's life is determined by the pursuit of their dreams. There's no need to chase after the disappointments or preferences of others. Follow your own path. If others are disappointed or dislike you, so be it. Sigh, the old man of the academy sighed, then called out, "Next, Gu Yue Fang Zheng." There was no reply. "Gu Yue Fang Zheng," the old man shouted, his voice echoing loudly in the cave. "Ha, it's me, Fang Zheng snapped out of his shock and rushed out. But unfortunately, he stumbled and immediately fell with a splash, tumbling right into the river. Instantly, everyone burst into laughter. "Fang family brothers, you're just like that," Clan Chief Gu Yue snorted coldly, also feeling a sense of annoyance towards Gu Yue Fang Zheng. "This time I've lost face." Fang Zheng thrashed around in the river, but the riverbed was too slippery, making it impossible to stand. His efforts only resulted in him flailing his arms and legs. He heard a series of loud laughs, which only increased his panic. But at that moment, he suddenly felt a force grab him, his head finally emerging from the water, and his body regaining its balance. He awkwardly wiped his face and looked up to see that it was his older brother, Fang Yuan, holding his robe and lifting him up. "Brother," he opened his mouth to speak, but instead choked on water, followed by a violent coughing fit. "Ha ha, neither of us in the Fang family is acting like a brother nor a sister." Someone on the shore laughed mockingly. The laughter grew louder, and the elder of the academy didn't step forward to stop it. He frowned, his heart filled with disappointment. Fang Zheng was flustered, when suddenly he heard his brother's voice in his ear, "Let's go. The road ahead will be very interesting." Fang Zheng couldn't help but open his mouth in surprise. At this moment, Fang Yuan had his back to everyone, so those on the shore couldn't see clearly. However, Fang Zheng clearly felt Fang Yuan's calmness when he spoke. The corners of his mouth even slightly curved upwards, revealing a deep, thoughtful smile. Clearly only a C-grade aptitude. Why is brother still so calm? Fang Zheng couldn't help but feel full of doubt. Fang Yuan didn't say anything more, patted Fang Zheng's back, and turned to leave. Fang Zheng's face was blank as he walked towards the sea of flowers. "I didn't expect my brother to be so calm. If it were me, I'm afraid." He lowered his head, unconsciously walking forward. He didn't realize he was performing a miracle. By the time he snapped back to reality, he was standing deep within the sea of flowers, a distance no one had ever reached before. 43 steps. "My God, A-grade talent," the academy elder exclaimed. "A-grade, it's really A-grade. 3 years, the ancient Moon Clan has finally produced a genius with A-grade talent." The elders, who had been secretly paying attention, simultaneously shouted, losing all composure. "Yes, the Fang branch originally branched off from our Red branch. This ancient Moon Fang Zheng must be raised by our Red branch," Ancient Moon Red Refining announced at this moment. "How could this be? What talent or virtue do you, old demon Qi Lian, possess? Your ability to harm disciples is quite impressive." This child is better left to me. Gu Yue Mo Chen, to raise. Gu Yue Mo Chen, as if struck by lightning, immediately rose up and roared. No one should compete for this child. Whoever raises him is no match for a relative. Anyone who dares to discuss this further is opposing me. Gu Yue Bo. The Gu Yue clan chief's eyes turned bloodshot, casting aside all his previous disappointment and despair, his whole being consumed by madness. Chapter 7. The Ancient Master's 9 Transformations. The Legacy of Hua Ju. Very quickly, a week passed. Humans are the soul of all things. Gu are the essence of heaven and earth. In this world, there are thousands upon thousands of types of Gu, too many to count. They live all around us. In underground mines, in bushes, even in the bodies of wild beasts. Quote, during the process of human reproduction, the ancient sages gradually discovered the mysteries of Gu insects. Those who opened their apertures, using their own true essence to nurture, refine, and control various types of Gu, achieving various goals. We collectively call them Gu Masters. And you, 7 days ago in the aperture opening ceremony, all successfully opened your apertures and condensed your true essence. See, today, you are all first-rank Gu Masters. In the middle of the mountain village's academy, the academy elder was speaking slowly. Facing him sat 57 young men, each concentrating their attention on listening. The miraculous and powerful nature of the ancient masters had long been deeply ingrained in the hearts of the young men. Therefore, everything the elders taught was very captivating to them. At this moment, a young man raised his hand, and after receiving permission from the elders, stood up and asked, "Elder, when I was young, I only knew that ancient masters were divided into first, second, and so on. Could you explain it to us a little?" Ancient Master Yue nodded, waved his hand, and motioned for the young man to sit down. There are a total of 9 major realms of ancient masters. From bottom to top, in order, first, second, third, and ninth. Each major realm is further divided into 4 minor realms: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and peak. You have just become ancient masters, so you are also at the beginner first realm. If you diligently cultivate in the future, your cultivation will naturally improve, and you can be promoted to second or third realm. Of course, the higher your aptitude, the greater your chances of advancement. For those with D-grade aptitude, the origin C occupies 3/10 of the aperture, and they can usually cultivate to the first or second transformation at most. For those with C-grade aptitude, the origin C occupies 4 or 5/10 of the aperture, and they usually reach the second transformation, with only a very small number fortunate enough to break through to the early third transformation. For those with B-grade aptitude, the origin C occupies a total of 7/10 of the aperture, and they can cultivate to the third or even fourth transformation. For those with A-grade aptitude, occupying 8 or 9/10 of the aperture, such individuals naturally possess the highest talent and are most suitable for cultivating Gu mastery, capable of cultivating to the 5th transformation. As for Gu masters of the 6th transformation and above, each one is a legend. I'm not entirely sure about the specifics. Our Gu Yue clan has never produced a 6th transformation Gu master, but we have had 5th and 4th transformation Gu masters. The young men all pricked up their ears, their eyes sparkling as they listened. Many people couldn't help but glance towards Gu Yue Fang Zheng, who was sitting upright in the first row. This was the kind of top-tier talent they'd expect, and their eyes were filled with envy and longing. At the same time, some eyes turned to the back corner of the classroom. In the corner, leaning against the window, Gu Yue Fang Yuan was fast asleep on a desk. "Look, he's still sleeping," someone whispered. "He's been sleeping for a whole week, and he still hasn't returned to normal," someone scoffed. "Not only that, I heard he doesn't come back to the dorm at night, loitering around the surrounding villages. Someone saw him more than once. He was drunk outside with a jug of wine." Luckily, the surrounding villages have been pacified in recent years, so it's relatively safe, the students whispered amongst themselves, and various rumors quickly spread. "Ah, what a huge blow. I've been called a genius for so many years, and yet I only got a B grade. Ha. Well, that's fine, but my younger brother got an A grade. And now he's the center of attention. Enjoying the best treatment. The younger brother is in heaven. The older brother is on earth. TSK. Hearing the increasingly loud discussions around him, the elder's eyebrows furrowed. Inside the classroom, all the young men sat upright, radiating vitality, making Fang Yuan, who was sleeping on his desk, even more noticeable. A week has passed, and he's still so dejected. HMPH. I was mistaken before. How could someone like him be a genius? The elder grumbled unhappily. He had told Fang Yuan this many times. But to no avail. Fang Yuan still did things his own way. He slept through every class, causing the elder in charge of teaching him immense headaches and frustration. Forget it. He's just a B-grade student. He can't even withstand such a small setback, with such a temperament. He'll be difficult to cultivate and will only be a waste of family resources. The elder was deeply disappointed in Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan's talent was only B-grade, compared to him. His younger brother Fang Zheng, with his A-grade talent, was the one worth cultivating. The old man from the school pondered for a moment, then continued the topic aloud. In the history of our clan, many powerful individuals have emerged. Among them, there are two who are at the 5th rank level. One is the first clan leader, our ancestor, who founded the ancient Moon Mountain village. The other is the 4th clan leader. He possessed exceptional talent and cultivated to the 5th rank ancient master level. If it weren't for that despicable and shameless demon, Hua Ju Xingzhu, who ambushed him, he might even have been promoted to the 6th rank. Alas. He paused here. Master Gu Yue sighed. Below the podium, the teenagers cried out in indignation. It's all because of the flower wine practitioner. So insidious and deceitful. It's a pity our 4th clan leader was so kind and virtuous. Yet he died young. I only regret not being born a few hundred years earlier. Otherwise, upon seeing that demon, I would definitely risk my life to expose his disgusting face. The story of the 4th clan leader and the flower wine practitioner was known to every member of the Gu Yue clan. The flower wine practitioner was also a 5th rank Gu master, a ruthless flower-stealing bandit with a notorious reputation in the demonic sect at the time. Hundreds of years ago, he sneaked into King Mao Mountain, plotting to commit crimes in Gu Yue Mountain village, but was discovered by the 4th clan leader. After a fierce and earth-shattering battle, the flower wine practitioner was beaten to his knees begging for forgiveness. The 4th clan leader, being merciful, decided to spare his life. However, the flower wine practitioner suddenly launched a sneak attack, severely injuring the 4th clan leader. The enraged clan chief killed the wine-drinking practitioner on the spot, but was later severely wounded beyond recovery and passed away. Therefore, in the hearts of all the ancient Moon Clan members, the 4th clan chief was a heroic figure who sacrificed himself for the mountain stronghold. The wine-drinking practitioner, awakened by the public condemnation in the academy, Fang Yuan opened his sleepy eyes in the corner of the room. He stretched his back, feeling a little resentful. Where did this wine-drinking practitioner die? Why, after searching all around our mountain stronghold, can't we find his legacy? In his memory, about 2 months later, a Gu master, heartbroken, got drunk and lay dead outside the mountain stronghold. The smell of alcohol spread, unexpectedly attracting a wineworm. The Gu master was overjoyed and wanted to catch it. The wineworm fled in panic, and the Gu master pursued relentlessly. Following the wineworm's trail, he discovered a mysterious cave that led underground. The wineworm was a very valuable Gu, and the Gu master, in his drunken state, recklessly entered the cave, venturing into the underground cavern. There, he discovered the corpse of the flower wine practitioner, along with his remaining possessions. After returning to the mountain stronghold, the Gu master reported his findings, immediately causing a great stir in the family. The Gu master also benefited from this, his cultivation soaring, and he even managed to win back the lover who had abandoned him. He became a prominent figure of the time. It's a pity I only heard this news vaguely. I don't know the exact location. I never imagined I would be resurrected. Flower wine practitioner, where did you die? He had bought a lot of wine in the past few days. And as soon as night fell, he would wander around the mountain stronghold. He wanted to use the scent of alcohol to lure the alcohol worm out. Unfortunately, he didn't encounter the alcohol worm. The results were extremely disappointing. If I can find that wine worm and refine it into a lifebound goo, it would be better than the moonlight goo in my family. April is here in the blink of an eye. I can't wait any longer. Fang Yuan sighed, shifting his gaze to the window. Under the blue sky and white clouds, the lush green mountains stretched endlessly. Nearby was a bamboo forest. This was the unique bamboo of Qingmao Mountain, each stalk straight and tall, its tip extremely sharp, like a spearhead. Not far away, new, vibrant green leaves were sprouting. Young shoots emerged, each leaf a tender green. Occasionally, a beautiful sparrow would land. The spring breeze swept in, carrying a refreshing breath that enveloped the green mountains and clear waters, cleansing the world. Unbeknownst to them, the class was coming to an end. The old master of the academy finally announced, "This week, I have taught you how to meditate, how to examine your own void aperture origin see, how to sit in meditation, and how to circulate the true essence in your body. Now it is time to refine your lifebound goo. After this lesson ends, you must go to the Academy's goo chamber and choose a goo worm. After choosing the goo worm, return home to cultivate in seclusion. Until you have refined the goo worm, return to the Academy to continue your studies. At the same time, this is also your first test. Whoever achieves first place will receive a reward of 20 primeval stones." Wow! After a moment, the entire Academy cheered. Finally, I have to refine a goo worm. Which goo worm should I choose? A sharp glint flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes and then disappeared. Chapter 8. The scene remains. But the person is gone. Beside the schoolhouse, an ancient chamber opened up. The ancient chamber wasn't large, only 60 square meters. For goo masters, goo insects were the primary source of strength. As soon as the lesson ended, the excited teenagers crowded towards the ancient chamber. "Line up, one by one," a furious shout suddenly rang out, and guards were stationed outside the ancient chamber. The teenagers entered one by one, then exited again. It was Fang Yuan's turn to enter the ancient chamber. He saw that the room was quite complex. The four walls were divided, each wall indented into a square niche. The niches varied in size, the largest the size of a pot, the smallest the size of a fist. Within these numerous niches were various containers, sometimes a gray stone basin, sometimes a jade tray, sometimes an exquisite grass cage, and sometimes a porcelain warming stove. These containers nurtured various goo worms. Some goo worms were silent and not very noisy, emitting various sounds like hissing, clicking, and rustling, forming a harmonious symphony of life. Goo worms are also divided into 9 major levels, corresponding to the 9 stages of a goo master's cultivation. These goo worms are all first-stage goo worms. Fang Yuan glanced around, immediately understanding. Generally speaking, a first-stage goo master can only use first-stage goo worms. If they were to use higher-level goo worms, the goo master would usually pay a very serious price. Moreover, goo worms also need nurturing, and raising high-stage goo worms is very costly, usually unaffordable for low-level goo masters. For a newly appointed goo master, unless there are special circumstances, they will choose first-stage goo worms for their first refinement. The first goo worm a goo master refines is of great significance. Called their life goo, with their lives intertwined. Once annihilated, the goo master would undoubtedly be severely wounded. Alas! I was hoping to obtain the wine worm of the wine practitioner and refine it into my own life-bound goo worm. But now, searching for the wine practitioner's remains is still fruitless, and I don't know when I'll find it. Perhaps someone else has discovered it. For safety reasons, I'll still choose a moonlight goo. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly as he walked straight towards the wall on his left. The wall niche was slightly raised, containing a series of silver trays. Each tray held a goo worm. These goo worms were translucent and shiny, curved like the moon, resembling pieces of blue crystal. Under the silver base, They stood out even more, exuding an air of ethereal purity. The Gu, named Moonlight, is the clan's guardian Gu of the Moonlight Gu tribe. Most of the tribe members choose it as their life-bound Gu. It's not a naturally occurring Gu, but rather cultivated through the secret techniques of the Moonlight Gu tribe. It's unique and can be considered a symbolic mark of the Moonlight Gu tribe. They are all first-stage Moonlight Gu, with extremely subtle differences. Fang Yuan casually chose one and held it in his hand. The Moonlight Gu is very light, comparable to the weight of a thin sheet of paper. It's only about the size of a palm, the size of an ordinary piece of jade. Fang Yuan held it in his hand, able to see through it, his hidden finger. After a final check, finding no problems, Fang Yuan put it in his bag and left the Gu chamber. The Gu 4 team was still lined up outside the Gu chamber. And then a young man saw Fang Yuan come out and excitedly rushed into the Gu chamber. If it were anyone else who obtained a Gu, their first reaction would be to quickly take it home and refine it. However, Fang Yuan wasn't in a hurry to do that. He was still thinking about the wineworm. The wineworm was more valuable, although the Moonlight Gu was a specialty of the Gu Yue mountain village. It wasn't as helpful to Gu masters as the wineworm. Leaving the Gu chamber, Fang Yuan went straight to the tavern. "Shopkeeper, sell me 2 jars of aged wine." Fang Yuan rummaged through his money pouch and placed the remaining broken piece of raw stone on the counter. For the past few days, he had been coming here to buy wine, then wandering around the mountain village searching, hoping to attract the wineworm. The shopkeeper was a short, stout middle-aged man with a shiny face. He had memorized Fang Yuan's name over the past few days. "Guest, you've arrived." While greeting him, he extended his short, thick, fat hand and skillfully swept away Fang Yuan's broken piece of raw stone. He shook it in his hand, thinking the amount wasn't bad, and the shopkeeper's smile became even more friendly. Primordial stones are the currency of this world, used to determine the value of all goods. At the same time, they condense the essence of heaven and earth, and can be used themselves to help Gu masters cultivate better. They possess both the attributes of money and commodities, extremely similar to gold on Earth. While Earth once had a gold standard, this world has a primordial stone standard. Asterisk, a system where gold is the standard and primordial stones are the medium. Compared to gold, the purchasing power of primordial stones is quite astonishing. However, even more primordial stones wouldn't be enough for Fang Yuan's continuous consumption. 2 jars of wine every day. For 7 days now, the primordial stones I've been accumulating little by little are almost all gone. Fang Yuan frowned slightly as he left the tavern with 2 jars of wine. Once one becomes a Gu master, they can directly extract pure essence from the primordial stones to replenish the primordial sea in their aperture. Therefore, for Gu masters, primordial stones are not just money, but also a great help in cultivation. With abundant primordial stones, the speed of cultivation can be significantly increased, which can more or less compensate for some lack of talent. Tomorrow there will be no more primordial stones to buy wine, and the wineworm is still slow to appear. Do I really have to refine the Moonlight Gu into my life-bound Gu? Fang Yuan felt a little unwilling in his heart. Leaving the tavern, Fang Yuan carried 2 jars of wine in his hands, and as he walked along the road, he pondered. The Academy elders said that the first person to successfully refine their own life-bound Gu in this examination would be rewarded with 20 spirit stones. Currently, I'm afraid many people are already at home refining Gu insects, vying for first place. Unfortunately, refining a life-bound Gu is extremely challenging in terms of aptitude. Those with good aptitude have a huge advantage. With my B-grade aptitude, whether I have other methods or not, I had no hope of winning from the start. Just then, Gu Yue Fang Zheng's voice rang out from behind. "Brother, you really did come to the tavern to get drunk again? Follow me, uncle and aunt want to see you." Fang Yuan stopped and turned around. He noticed that his younger brother was no longer speaking with his head down as before. The 2 brothers' eyes met. A gust of wind howled, tossing his older brother's disheveled hair and blowing his younger brother's robe. In just a short month, The scene had changed drastically. With people gone, the awakening ceremony brought immense upheaval to both the elder and younger brothers. The elder brother, Fang Yuan, had fallen from grace, his genius aura ruthlessly stolen. Meanwhile, the younger brother began to shine brightly, like a rising star. For Gu Yue Fang Zheng, this upheaval was even more profound, a cataclysmic event. He finally experienced what his elder brother had felt before, being the object of others' hopes. Being gazed upon with envious and longing eyes. He felt as if he had suddenly been transported from a dark corner to a radiant paradise. Each day he woke up, he felt as if he were in a beautiful dream. The stark contrast in treatment was something he still found hard to believe. And he felt a strong sense of unease and discomfort. He couldn't adapt. Suddenly, from obscurity to being the focus of everyone's attention and scrutiny. Sometimes, when Fang Zheng was walking down the street and overheard passersby discussing or praising him, he would feel his face flush, his limbs become clumsy, his eyes dart around, and he almost lost his bearings. For the first dozen or so days, Gu Yue Fang Zheng inexplicably lost a noticeable amount of weight, yet his energy and spirit became even more vibrant. Deep within him, a certain confidence began to grow. This is how my brother felt before. So wonderful yet so painful. He couldn't help but think of his older brother, Gu Yue Fang Yuan. How had his brother responded to such gossip and attention? He instinctively began to imitate Fang Yuan, maintaining an expressionless face, but quickly realized he wasn't a block of wood. Sometimes, in school, a girl's voice could make his face flush bright red. On the street, the teasing of aunts and uncles would often make him run away in terror. He was like a toddler learning to walk, stumbling as he adapted to his new life. During this process, he inevitably heard rumors about his older brother, depressed, drunk, not returning to the dorm at night, sleeping on campus. He was initially shocked. How could such a powerful genius have become like that? But gradually, he began to understand. His brother was also an ordinary person, facing such failures and setbacks. It was only natural for his spirits to be low. With this understanding, Fang Zheng vaguely felt an indescribable joy. He was extremely reluctant to admit this joy, but it truly existed. His brother, once hailed as a genius, once a shadow that suppressed him, was now so depressed and downcast, thinking in the opposite direction. Wasn't this proof of his own growth? He was outstanding, that was the truth. Seeing Fang Yuan carrying a wine jar, his hair disheveled and his clothes messy, Gu Yue Fang Zheng breathed a sigh of relief, his breathing becoming much more relaxed. But he said, "Brother, you can't drink anymore, you can't continue like this. You don't know how worried people are about you. You have to sober up." Fang Yuan's face remained expressionless, and he didn't speak. The two brothers stared at each other. In his younger brother Gu Yue Fang Zheng's eyes, a sharp glint shone. His older brother Fang Yuan's eyes, however, were dark and deep, like a bottomless pool. Such eyes made Fang Zheng feel an inexplicable pressure. After a short while, he instinctively averted his gaze, looking to the side. But when he realized what was happening, a surge of anger welled up inside him. Anger at himself. What was wrong with him? Did he lack even the courage to face his brother? We have changed. We have completely changed. Thinking this, his sharp gaze swept across the room once more. However, Fang Yuan didn't look at him, but instead, carrying a wine jar in one hand, walked past him, his voice calm. "What are you standing there for? Let's go." Fang Zheng's breathing became erratic, the anger welling up inside him with nowhere to vent, leaving him with an indescribable frustration. Seeing his brother walk away, he could do nothing but quicken his pace. But this time, his head wasn't bowed. Instead, he looked up towards the setting sun. His gaze was fixed on his feet, each step treading on the shadow of his brother, Fang Yuan. Chapter 9. Getting further and further apart. The sun was setting in the west, but not yet completely gone. The sky still held some light, but everything seemed shrouded in a gray haze. Looking into the distance through the window, the mountains were gradually turning a heavy, dark black. Inside the dimly lit living room, the aunt and uncle sat high in the main seat, their faces obscured by shadows, making their expressions unclear. Seeing the 2 jars of wine Fang Yuan carried, the eyebrows of the young master Gu Yue Dongtu furrowed into wrinkles. He opened his mouth and said, "Time flies. You two are already 15 years old, and you both possess the aptitude for Gu sages. Especially Fang Zheng. Your aunt and uncle are proud of you. I'll give each of you 6 spirit stones. Take them. Refining Gu worms is extremely draining on your true essence. You need these spirit stones." With that, a servant came and handed Fang Yuan and Fang Zheng each a small bag. Fang Yuan took the bag, remaining silent. Fang Zheng immediately opened the bag and looked inside, only to find 6 grayish-white spirit stones. His face instantly lit up with gratitude. He rose from his seat and bowed to his uncle and aunt. "Thank you. Uncle and aunt, your nephew truly needs spirit stones to replenish his true essence. You have raised me so well. I will never forget your kindness." His uncle smiled and nodded. His aunt quickly waved her hand and said kindly to Fang Zheng, "Sit down. Sit down. Although you 2 brothers are not our biological sons, we have always raised you as our own. We are proud that you have such a bright future. Alas, we have no children of our own. Sometimes we wish you could be our sons." These words held a deeper meaning, which Fang Zheng didn't grasp. But Fang Yuan frowned slightly. As expected, he understood her intentions. "Your aunt and I have discussed this, and we want to adopt you as our children, making you a true member of our family." "Fang Zheng, I wonder if you are willing." Fang Zheng was stunned for a moment, but his face quickly lit up with joy, and he immediately agreed. "To be honest, ever since my parents passed away, I have longed for a family reunion. To be able to become part of your family with my uncle and aunt is truly wonderful." His aunt's expression relaxed, and she burst into laughter. "You are our good son." Still calling them uncle and aunt. "Father, mother," Fang Zheng suddenly realized, quickly changing his tone. His uncle and aunt both laughed heartily. "Our good son, it wasn't in vain that we raised you from the age of 5. And then for 10 years. His aunt wiped away her tears. He looked at Fang Yuan, who was silently observing, and gently said, "Fang Yuan, what do you think?" Fang Yuan shook his head without speaking. "Brother," Gu Yue Fang Zheng wanted to persuade him, but he was stopped by his cousin. His voice remained unchanged as he continued, "Since that's the case, nephew Fang Yuan, we won't force you. However, you are 15 years old now, and you should establish your own household. This will also make it easier to inherit the Fang family branch. Your uncle has prepared 200 spirit stones for you as a token of his assistance." 200 spirit stones. Fang Zheng's eyes widened instantly. He had never seen so many spirit stones before, and couldn't help but show a look of envy. Yet Fang Yuan still shook his head. Fang Zheng was completely bewildered. His expression changed slightly, and his aunt's face also darkened. "Uncle and aunt, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave." Fang Yuan didn't give them another chance to speak, leaving those words behind, picking up the wine jar, and walking straight out of the room. Fang Zheng stood up. "Father, mother, my brother is momentarily confused. Why don't I try to persuade him?" He waved his hand, deliberately sighing. "Alas, this matter cannot be forced. Your intention is already comforting. You, take young Master Fang Zheng downstairs and arrange his accommodation. Your son takes his leave." Fang Zheng withdrew, and the living room fell silent. The sun had completely set, making the living room even darker. After a while, a cold voice came from the darkness. "It seems this brat Fang Yuan has seen through our scheme." The Gu Yue clan's rules clearly stipulated that the eldest son, at 16 years old, had the right to inherit the family fortune. Fang Yuan's parents had passed away, leaving behind a luxurious inheritance, which was kept safe by his uncle and aunt. The value of this inheritance was incomparable to 200 spirit stones. If Fang Yuan were to become the adopted son of his uncle and aunt, just like Fang Zheng, he wouldn't be qualified to inherit this estate. If Fang Yuan, at 15 years old, were to establish his own household, it wouldn't even meet the family inheritance regulations. Fortunately, we managed to sway Fang Zheng, and Fang Yuan only has a B-grade aptitude. He sighed, feeling incredibly lucky. Master, Fang Yuan clearly wants to become independent at 16. What should we do now? His aunt's voice grew agitated as she thought about the inheritance. HMPH. If he has ill intentions, we can't be blamed, as long as we catch him making a major mistake before he becomes independent. Expel him from the household, and immediately strip him of his inheritance rights, he said coldly. But this bastard Fang Yuan is very intelligent. How could he make a mistake? The aunt asked, puzzled. He immediately glanced around, lowering his voice and shouting, "You're clearly a fool. He hasn't done anything wrong. So why can't we frame him? Let that girl Shen Kui first seduce Fang Yuan, then loudly proclaim indecent assault, and we'll catch him red-handed. Then we'll falsely accuse him of drunken madness. Aren't we sure we can get rid of Fang Yuan?" Master, you're still so resourceful. What a brilliant plan. The aunt was overjoyed. The night deepened, the starry sky half obscured by dark clouds. In the mountain village, houses gradually lit their lamps. Gu Yue Fang Zheng was led to a room. "Young Master Fang Zheng, this is the room Master personally instructed me to prepare for you." Granny Shen introduced attentively, bowing and smiling obsequiously. Fang Zheng looked around, his eyes shining. This room was more than twice as large as his previous one. In the center was a large bed, and by the window was a finely crafted desk made of sandalwood, complete with paper and writing implements. The walls were adorned with exquisite decorations. Even the floor wasn't ordinary, but covered with a soft carpet. From childhood to adulthood, Fang Zheng had never lived in a room like this. He immediately nodded repeatedly. "It's excellent. Truly not bad. Thank you, Madam Shen." Madam Shen was the person his aunt valued most, managing all the servants, a true housekeeper. Shen Kui, Fang Yuan's personal maid, was her daughter. Grandma Shen chuckled. "How dare this servant accept your thanks? Young master, it's only right, young master. Just eat well and sleep well. If you want anything, just ring the bell by your bed, and a servant will be waiting to give you instructions. The master instructed that you should focus entirely on cultivation these next few days, and leave all other trivial matters to us servants." Fang Zheng's heart swelled with gratitude once again. He said nothing, only silently resolving in his heart, this time, he must win first place and not let his aunt and uncle down. ... The dark clouds in the sky grew heavier and heavier, making the night even more profound. Most of the stars in the night sky were obscured by the dark clouds, with only a few faintly shining, struggling in the sky. My uncle and aunt are probably plotting how to drive me out of the house. In my previous life, they secretly instigated the servants to provoke me, then framed me, and finally expelled me. I wonder what will happen in this life. Fang Yuan walked along the road, a cold smile playing on his lips. He had long seen through his uncle and aunt's true nature, but he could understand it. Because people die for money, birds die for food, whether on earth or in this world. There are always many people who trample on family, friendship, and love for profit. In reality, there was no genuine familial affection. Previously, his uncle and aunt had adopted Fang Yuan and Fang Zheng primarily out of a desire for their inheritance. However, the two brothers, Fang Yuan and Fang Zheng, had repeatedly surprised them. Everything is difficult at the beginning, and for me, it's even more so. Firstly, I'm not naturally gifted, and secondly, I lacked a mentor. I essentially built my career from scratch. My parents' inheritance was a shock to me. In my previous life, my uncle and aunt stole it, costing me 2 years of cultivation before I even reached the peak of the first stage. In this life, I cannot repeat this mistake. Fang Yuan pondered this as he walked. He didn't stay put, but instead, carrying 2 jars of wine, headed straight out of the camp. The night sky grew increasingly dark, black clouds obscuring the stars, and the mountain wind howled, gradually intensifying. A mountain rain was imminent. Even so, he had to continue his search. The inheritance from his parents, which he wanted to seize, would have to wait until he turned 16. But the legacy of the wine practitioner was the closest thing he could get his hands on. There were very few people along the road. The houses along the way were dimly lit, with scattered household waste and dust and leaves blown away by the wind. Fang Yuan's thin clothing couldn't withstand the mountain wind, and he felt a chill. He decisively opened the wine jar he was carrying and took a small sip. Although the wine was cloudy, after swallowing it, a feeling of warmth began to rise. This was the first time he had actually drunk wine in several days. The further he left the mountain village, the sparser the houses along the road became, and the dimmer the lights grew. Ahead, the darkness deepened. The wind weighed heavily on the mountains and forests, the branches swaying in the night, rustling like a herd of howling beasts. Fang Yuan's footsteps were unwavering as he left the main gate of the mountain stronghold, his path darkening and receding further and further into the distance. Behind him blazed the dazzling light of countless houses. Within this light, there was a warm place. His younger brother, Gu Yue Fang Zheng, sat at his desk, reviewing his notes from school. In the brightly lit room, with its sturdy walls shielding against the cold wind, a cup of ginseng tea sat beside him, its steam rising gently. "Young Master Fang Zheng, your hot water is ready." Shen Kui's soft voice drifted in from outside the door. Fang Zheng's heart trembled slightly. "Then bring it in." Shen Kui, with a captivating expression, swayed her hips as she entered the room. "Your servant greets young Chapter Master 10. Fang Zheng." She cast a seductive glance at Fang Zheng. Fang Yuan was only a B-rank cultivator, while Fang Zheng possessed A-rank talent. To be able to climb up to him was truly a great fortune. Verdant bamboo stalks on the upper floor, making a crisp sound. In the pond in front of the pavilion, the water's surface was battered by the rain. Fish swam happily back and forth, and algae at the bottom of the pond swayed. The sky was gloomy, and the entire view was obscured by a thick curtain of rain. In the dimly lit room, with the window open, Fang Yuan silently watched the heavy rain, sighing wistfully. "It's been 3 days and 3 nights. 3 nights ago, he took 2 jars of wine and left the mountain stronghold to continue his search. But when night fell, a torrential downpour began. Not only was he drenched, but more importantly, he couldn't continue searching in such conditions. The rainwater could quickly wash away the smell of wine, and forcing a search in the rain would arouse suspicion. Previously, he had disguised himself as a disheartened drunkard to conceal his true motives. But one should never underestimate the intelligence of others. Often, only fools think others are stupid. Therefore, cornered, Fang Yuan could only cease his search. The rain, however, continued, sometimes heavy, sometimes light, sometimes sparse, sometimes heavy, but relentless. "Since I can't find the wineworm anytime soon, I can only begin refining the moonlight goo. During the refining process, finding the wineworm would be best. But if not, I'll just have to accept it. It's normal. The weather is unpredictable. Nothing in this world is always smooth sailing and perfect." Fang Yuan's mood was calm. 500 years of experience had long since cleansed his impulsive nature. He closed the windows and doors and sat cross-legged on the bed. Slowly closing his eyes, after regulating his breathing, he calmed his mind. After a moment, the image of his own void aperture appeared in his head. Although the void aperture resided within his body, it was extraordinarily mysterious, both infinitely large and infinitely small. Outside the void aperture was a layer of light membrane. The white light membrane felt very fragile, yet it truly supported the void aperture. Inside the void aperture was a vast ocean of true essence. The seawater appeared bronze green, the surface as calm as a mirror, the water level approximately half the height of the void aperture. The entire volume of the primordial sea occupied 4/4 of the void aperture. This was the bronze primordial sea of a first-rank Gu master. Every drop of seawater was true essence. It was Fang Yuan's life force, the condensation of Fang Yuan's essence, spirit, and mind. Every drop of true essence is precious, for it is the foundation, the source of a Gu Master's power. It is through true essence that a Gu Master can refine and activate Gu worms. His consciousness withdrew from the sea of essence. Fang Yuan opened his eyes and took out the moonlight Gu from his chest. The moonlight Gu lay quietly in Fang Yuan's palm, resembling a small, crescent-shaped blue moon, shimmering and radiant. Fang Yuan's thoughts shifted, and immediately the sea of essence in his aperture swirled. A stream of true essence shattered the surface of the sea, surging outwards from his body and forcefully entering the moonlight Gu. The moonlight Gu emitted a dark blue light, slightly trembling in Fang Yuan's palm, resisting Fang Yuan's forceful entry of true essence. Gu are the essence of heaven and earth, the code of the great Tao, the conduit of laws. They are also living beings, inherently free and independent, possessing their own will. Currently, Fang Yuan wanted to refine it, which meant erasing its will. Sensing this danger, the moonlight Gu naturally resisted. The refining process was extremely difficult. The moonlight Gu resembled a crescent moon, with bronze-green true essence pouring into the center, first dyeing the two pointed ends of the crescent moon green. Then, this bronze-green color began to spread towards the middle of the crescent moon. In less than 3 minutes, a pale face appeared on Fang Yuan's face. The amount of true essence continuously surged into the moonlight Gu, leading to a series of weakening sensations that relentlessly assaulted him. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 8/10, 9/10, 1/10. 10 minutes later, Fang Yuan's essence C had consumed exactly 1/10 of his true essence. However, the surface of the moonlight Gu was like blue crystal, with bronze-green on both sides of the crescent-shaped ends, but only slightly expanding towards the middle. The moonlight Gu's resistance was incredibly stubborn. Fortunately, Fang Yuan had anticipated this and wasn't surprised. He persevered in channeling his true essence into the moonlight Gu. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. After another 20 minutes, Fang Yuan's essence C was reduced to only 1/4 of its original size. The bronze-green area on the moonlight Gu had expanded slightly. The two green patches combined amounted to about 1/12 of the entire surface of the moonlight Gu. The rest remained the pale blue color of the moonlight Gu itself. Gu refining is arduous. Seeing this, Fang Yuan sighed inwardly, cutting off the supply of true essence and ceasing to refine the moonlight Gu. By this point, after half an hour of refining the Gu, Fang Yuan's primordial C and apertures had been depleted by more than half, leaving only 1.4% of his true essence. Meanwhile, the moonlight Gu had only been refined to 1/2 of its capacity. Even more unbelievable was that the moonlight Gu still emitted the same bluish glow as before. Although Fang Yuan had stopped refining it, it continued its resistance in Fang Yuan's bronze true essence area. Fang Yuan could clearly feel that the true essence entering the moonlight Gu was being gradually expelled and dissipated from his body. The two crescent-shaped bronze points on the surface of the moonlight Gu were also slowly shrinking. At this rate of reduction, in about 6 hours, the moonlight Gu would completely eliminate Fang Yuan's true essence. At that point, returning to refine this Gu would be no different from starting the refining process. Each Gu refinement is like two armies clashing, a battle of attrition. The Gu worm is only refined to 1/12 of its potential. Yet my true essence is depleted by 3/10. Gu masters must constantly replenish their true essence in their essence C while continuously refining and consolidating their gains. Gu refinement tests not only the skill of manipulating true essence but also unwavering perseverance. Fang Yuan thought as he took out a piece of essence stone from his money pouch. Gu masters usually have two methods for replenishing depleted true essence. One is natural restoration. After a certain period of time, the essence C will automatically replenish true essence. With Fang Yuan's B-grade aptitude, it takes about an hour to replenish 4/10 of true essence. 6 hours would restore a total of 2/4 of true essence. The second method is absorbing the natural essence within essence stones. Essence stones are treasures of nature, condensed from natural true essence, and can be absorbed by Gu masters. Fang Yuan held the primordial stone in his hand, continuously absorbing natural true essence from within, gathering it into his primordial sea of apertures. The faint light on the surface of the primordial stone gradually faded, and the water level of Fang Yuan's primordial sea rose at a speed visible to the naked eye. After about half an hour, the primordial sea once again recovered to 40% of its original volume. At this point, the rising sea level slowed down slightly. Although the aperture still had space, Fang Yuan could no longer store much more true essence. This was the limit of his C-grade aptitude. Therefore, the crucial role of cultivation aptitude immediately became apparent. The higher the aptitude, the more true essence can be stored in the aperture, and the faster the natural recovery rate of true essence is. For Fang Yuan, to refine the goo worm and consolidate his achievements, he needed to absorb primal stones. Because his natural recovery speed of true essence was slower than the moonlight goo's rate of expelling true essence. However, for Fang Zheng, with his A-grade aptitude, he could replenish 8/10 of true essence every hour. In 6 hours, he could recover a total of 4/8 of true essence. Meanwhile, the moonlight goo could only expel 3/10 of true essence in 6 hours. He didn't even need external assistance like primal stones. He could refine it this way. Rest a few times, and after a few days, he could successfully refine the moonlight goo. Therefore, Fang Yuan knew from the beginning that he couldn't win first place in the moonlight goo refining test. This wasn't related to strength. Aptitude was the primary factor. The second factor was primal stones. If there was surplus raw materials, and no expense was spared, a person with a B-grade aptitude could surpass a A-grade person and win first place. I only have 6 raw materials in my hand, which is inferior to Gu Yue Mo Bei and Gu Yue Qi Cheng, who have elders backing them. My aptitude is only C-grade, also inferior to Gu Yue Fang Zheng's A-grade aptitude. This examination is practically hopeless. It's better to divide my strength and go find the wineworm. If I can refine the wineworm into my life-bound goo, it would be even better than the moonlight goo. The sound of rain outside the window has subsided. It seems to be stopping. This heavy rain has lasted 3 days and 3 nights. It should stop by now. Fang Yuan retrieved the moonlight goo and was about to open the window when a knocking sound echoed. From outside the door came the voice of Shen Kui, the personal maid. Young Master Fang Yuan. It's me. It's been raining continuously for the past 3 days. So I've brought you some wine and food. Young Master, please eat a little. It might help alleviate your worries.